From one track to the next, let's see who will be in that championship four. To everyone that's tuning on in tonight, we say hello and welcome to the final round of the round of 8 for the Area Cup Series ahead of the championship next Monday evening. I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Sleppy. We've all been waiting around, excited for what's next, wondering what is next, and seeing who our championship four will be. We had the Tennessee swing, the West Coast swing, going from Las Vegas to now the defunct Auto Club Speedway, which puts on a great show with the next gens consistently with this combo. Now we wonder what will happen in about 8 minutes time. We'll get ready for qualifying and get ready for the countdown. Let's bring you to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee, just for the time being as we continue to update. Hunter, it's going to be a fun one here tonight. What do some of these viewers need to know heading to green?
So it's going to be fun indeed, John. These guys need to know that the bottom four that are looking to make their way into the championship four, it's Bailey Turner out by 7 points, Connor Horn by 11, Michael Curran by 14, and then by 18 actually, James Skyley. So last race at Las Vegas, the top 5 in that race are the current top 5 in the point standings. John Hall got the win, so he's locked into the championship four. Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, Adam Cabot, they are all inside the championship four as well, with Bailey Turner an impressive 5th place finish, but he still finds himself on the outside looking in. As for the other 3, Connor Horn, Michael Curran, and James Skyley, they each have won the last 3 races here at Auto Club. Curran with the most impressive of them all, with the last lap 3-wide photo finish win back in Season 3. James Skyley won in Season 4, and I was kind of shocked to look at Skyley at 8th in the standings, that far down, so he doesn't necessarily need to win. He could still point his way through, as that was the case last year. Coming to the finish, we had a big wreck coming to the finish, so expect chaos towards the end of this one. And then Connor Horn was our most recent winner back in Season 5 amidst that chaos, where he needed to win to get into the championship 4 and did just that. So it should be a fun race nonetheless, and the track temp, from what I'm hearing, is a big concern, at least early on. It should cool down. I heard that it was up to 130 for the track temp in Fontana. My
goodness. Well, 105 laps, 2-mile track, 210 miles. That will make up round 16 before the championship event, round 17 next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 14 degrees in the turns, 11 on the front stretch, 3% on the back. It is a super highway of a racetrack. A lot of room to roam, including with this next gen. We saw that back in 2022, 2023, when the Auto Club Speedway had a play with the next gen stock car. We expect to see more of that tonight. The big question is going to be who makes the big four, knowing that even if you're 8th, you're not in a must-win situation is good to know. But for James Skyley, you kind of feel like you're in a must-win situation being that far down. Let's give you an update here on practice. Currently, Jake Nichols sits top of the board. Seth Knoll, John Hall, that is the top 3. Most expecting those 3 to be heading to the final 4. Already John Hall making his way in with the win 2 weeks ago. Adam Cabot is 5th. Miller is 4th. Turner, Horn, and Curhan end up being inside the top 12, but James Skyley early is already 19th in practice. You talked about the heat and the temperature, Hunter. Let's play into that a little bit more. How is that going to affect the drivers tonight, and are we worried about the setup not being the best handling for those conditions?
Yeah, the setup, from what I've heard, it's already not the best for handling on top of the super high track temp. I think the track temp should go down. I don't think I've ever seen it that high, up to 130 in a sim ever, but the setup's going to be hard, and not only that, but tire wear is going to be important too. This is a very old surface because it never got a repave in the entirety of its life at Auto Club, and not to mention the backstretch and even in the turns, it's going to be super bumpy for those guys. So you can try and side-by-side drag race down the backstretch and side draft a little bit, but those bumps are going to be very crucial when you're heading into turns 3 and 4.
It's going to be interesting indeed. No night racing here this season. Are we going to have a night race for Charlotte? I hope so.
I can double check on that. I would hope it's a night race too.
No, we may have had one night race. No, Bristol was a night race. Bristol definitely was a night race, if I'm not mistaken. So one night race won't be happening here at Auto Club, but it seems to be the cream continues to rise to the top. The live chat yesterday for the e-ticket event was a lot of fun with the top fans. We'll be keeping track of the top fans of the live chat during the Area Cup Series event. So right now, Eric W. is the top fan of the live chat. We'll continue to monitor and see who continues to win. Eric did win during the e-ticket. We'd love to see who wins during the Area Cup Series. You know what? It's a little bit early, Hunter, but let's go ahead and question who do you think is going to go to victory lane?
Oh man, this is such a tough one because it's been an off week. Some of these guys that needed a reset, like Scioli, I mean, he finished all the way down in 25th from Las Vegas. He's got pretty good stats here. Although I will say, back against the wall, I'm going to go with Connor Horn. He's gotten the top 10 twice in his 2 starts here at Auto Club, and he won back in Season 5. I think he'll be in a pretty good spot to win tonight.
Horn's going to be interesting to watch. Curhan as well. James Scioli, I mean, he's only back in 19th. I can't pick him now, so I'm going to go Seth Knoll. I expect Knoll to make the championship 4 early on. It seemed like the championship 4 at the beginning of the playoffs was going to be Nichols, Knoll, Hall, and then Dylan Alt. Alt got bumped. We expect Knoll to do great things. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to victory lane. But that championship race is going to be interesting when we head to Charlotte. You look at the guys that are here, and you know, a lot of them still can go out there and win. John Hall with his big win a couple weeks ago at Las Vegas triumphantly put him into that championship 4. You can't consider him an underdog anymore, I guess, heading in because he was technically a rookie, even though he performed very well in the Area Truck Series. But for Seth Knoll, a championship, does it look possible? What did you hear from that team?
Not much from Seth Knoll other than just on occasion he'll say, "Did you pick me? Did you pick me?" And then on times where I don't pick him, he usually wins. So I didn't pick him tonight, so he might have a good chance of going to victory lane too. Trying to look at his stats. There's only one top 5, and his best finish came from 5th back in Season 4. Not really too good of stats compared to the likes of Scioli or even Michael Curran as well. We should expect to see the one of Seth Knoll up front.
Oh, gonna be fun to see. Lucky Duck dropping down the $2 super sticker with the 1-up sign. Lucky Duck got to be on the thumbnail for this Area Cup Series event. Viewers still filing in, just about 2 minutes time until we head trackside and get ready to watch all of the practice into qualifying, then into the warm-up. I'm still very curious. I mean, we've already seen non-playoff drivers go to victory lane. If someone's going to get it done tonight, who do you think is going to be, Hunter?
Oh, that's always so tough because you never know if Kwame Scott's here or if Logan Clampett's here, because those two, they've really, whenever they show up, they really put on a tough competition for those up front. And I mean, Kwame Scott's already done that twice, so if he's here tonight, might as well be 3 times that he's done it in the playoffs. So if Kwame Scott's here, look for him to possibly finish ahead of the playoff drivers and steal a victory.
Oh, Kwame Scott. We already know he's going to do some great things if he is here. I'm looking up and down. I kind of like Jeremy Miller there in that 30 machine sitting 4th in practice. He is the highest running non-playoff driver. So I'm going to go with Miller. New paint scheme this week. Has New Jersey on it instead of a Tony Stewart throwback, which is always very fascinating to go ahead and watch. Hopefully we can see Miller in the NWP 400. Same with Connor Horn. But all things area are getting ready to come to a close in 2025 with just, now I would say, a week remaining from this checkered flag. Who has gone to victory lane? Who is still looking for victory lane? There's some drivers that were close, just couldn't go ahead and get it, and some underdogs that were close. I think DeBrett Punkari at Talladega, Brandon Bowie, who snuck into the playoffs. Patrick Moose has been running up front very well this year. And then you continue to look and wonder who's some one-offs that will just show up to Charlotte, because Charlotte's going to be a really good, really tough car track combo. It will be fascinating to go ahead and watch. Final 30 seconds, Hunter, what do you think is going to happen here in qualifying?
I don't really know. I would expect some guys to wait until the possible last minute, or actually 2 minutes maybe, because of how long it is to get a warm-up lap here. Just to wait for the track temp to go down, see if a cloud approaches over the racetrack. And you mentioned guys without wins that are looking to get their first win. Half of the remaining drivers in the postseason don't have a win on the season, and the only one that's inside the top 4 amongst those that are winless is Adam Cabot, and he doesn't have any starts here in area at Auto Club, so I'm very curious as to how he takes on this track with only a 7-point advantage.
All right, going to be fun to see. Already unofficial results are in the books. Let's get ready to head trackside here from the Auto Club Speedway. Round 16, already 16 rounds in the books. It feels like a couple days ago we were qualifying for the Area Cup Series, Area 500. And now we get ready to rip, ride, and rumble. Anything these drivers have been talking about how to take the track? Because usually at Auto Club you can either run inches off the outside retaining wall or go deep sea diving into turns 1 and 2.
Not really much as the preferred line. I mean, obviously the top's going to be somewhat of an advantage, but I'm hearing a lot of guys are shifting, and I don't know if that's been a common theme, at least back when we ran in season 4 or 5. But a lot of guys are shifting throughout the turns and even on the straightaway, so it should be interesting to see if that continues for qualifying and even in the race.
All right. Eric W., Mikey, want to say hello to you guys. Drew in the live chat. Matt, how is everything? To all the viewers typing in the live chat, so glad to have you here. If you were here last Sunday night, how about that e-ticket event, the 31st, and already drivers were making NWP 400 schemes 2, 3, 4 months ago. All getting ready to get it going for August 12th. A lot of things to work on ahead of that e-ticket event. 4 minutes remain here in single car qualifying. Left side of your screen, you'll see exactly where every single driver attempts to go to qualify. Tanner Betha, Blaze McKinney, Bryce Shenesak, Ben Pearson, others all on the racing service. Still great to see Ryan Swan back with the Rick's Hot Sauce number 20. Still the nicest scheme, in my opinion. Part of the Area Cup Series. Hunter, are you here? Oh, he spawned.
Oh, I'm here.
What is your favorite scheme this year with Area?
Oh gosh, there's honestly, I really don't have a favorite. There's just so many different paint schemes out there that really catch my eye. I mean, the Solar Flare guys, they really have some good schemes. And yeah, you mentioned the Rick's Hot Sauce paint scheme. I think Ryan Swan in the 20 has a pretty good scheme as well. In that Rick's Hot Sauce. I thought that was a Mystery Galaxy car at first. Bryce Shenesak, though, he's making his 250th Cup Series start. He's got a special paint scheme there. Looks pretty good. Look forward to seeing the 09 and what he can do in his 250th start.
I love the Rick's Hot Sauce machine. I think the 20 is still the nicest one out there. By far the nicest one. It's very tough. Am I biased? I mean, it's a Florida brand, kind of. I know, Tennessee living, but Florida native, flow grown. There's a lot of flow grown in Area, which is great. That's why we have all the bond and the connection. But the 20 just looks sick with the whole color palette. Blaze McKinney, he's raced with different paint schemes this year. I mean, it's like every week Blaze McKinney has a new car, a new livery.
Yeah, that's a very interesting SVG-like scheme. I don't know how I feel about the red number on the side of the car, but yeah, he's also got some pretty good schemes. I kind of missed the Menards 87, though.
Me too.
I've grown accustomed to him running that scheme more so than not.
Let's see what Curhan's got. So this is on the thumbnail. A new look for the Lucky Duck 24. It's that silver and black. Really reminiscent to Jeff Gordon's Texas win, 2009. Come on. 2010. I want to say 2010. Or 09. We got some NASCAR nerds in this chat. They should know.
I believe it was 2010.
Has to be 2010.
But if it's got the wing on it, then it was definitely 09.
Well, unless it was the first couple of races. I think the first Texas race in 10 maybe had the wing.
I can't remember if that was the race with Henry Johnson got in or not.
Nonetheless, great looking scheme. We know Lucky Duck is watching in the live chat below. Hopefully give us an update there. Let's see what Jonathan Evans is running. Okay, he's got the shark nose, the old, what is it, P40? I believe it is the P40 livery. P40 being a fighter plane from World War II. Does anybody know what the P in P40 stands for? Do you know?
I'm just going to take a shot in the dark peripheral.
No, Pursuit. Aviation nerd, racing nerd, you know, I go bib to bib, baby. How about Bailey Turner? Number 24. Jake Nichols, top of the board. Bia Moose in second. Horn, Miller, Bowie ending up as the top 5. Still no word on what's going to come from Justin Anasogak. No, he's not going to move on the racetrack. Reese Schaefer, shout out to him in the old John Deere throwback look. I know it's Pit Stop TV, yes, in that 97, but the whole livery and the whole look looks fantastic. Adam Cabot, 17. I believe he'll be the last qualifier for our playoff guys. Where does he go? Try P9. John Hall. We got to give it to John Hall, too. He hasn't changed his paint scheme all year. You can't miss John Hall on the racetrack.
That's a very identifiable scheme. I will say, though, I'm really shocked with Patrick Moose in his qualifying effort. Could be one of those that dethrone a playoff driver for the win.
Gonna look at some things before we get going. In around 34 drivers, which is perfect here at Auto Club Speedway as we get ready to ride. No shock here. The top is still the same drivers. Patrick Moose, can he go out of his way to become a non-playoff driver winning the race? That would be fun to go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and chat with some drivers before we go green. Hunter, I do this every week.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that one person is here. I was gonna say Patrick Moose, but he's deafened, so I don't think that'll work. Let's go with let's go with Adam Cabot. 7 points above the cut line. First start at Auto Club for area. Interested in how he takes it.
Let's go ahead and find Cabot. Cabot, John Ramos, you got a copy. Cabot, John Ramos. Oh, Hunter, I think he's not here. How about that one?
All right, 0 for 1.
Oh, for 1.
Let's see if we can connect on the second one. Let's
All right,
with,
go ahead and drag someone in here.
Should I just do it by surprise?
Sure. I'll go ahead and see it on the right side of my screen. Oh, James Scioli, you dog, how are you? Are you kidding me? James Scioli, John Ramos, you got a copy. Are you serious? 0 for 2. This is not looking good, Hunter.
This is.
You just struck out swinging twice.
No, I'm 0 for 2. I'm 0 for 3.
Drag another. Not Seth Knoll. His mic's too low.
Okay, let's.
That's why his interviews are always so quick.
I know this guy's here. 100%. I know this guy's here. He joined in the wrong channel, and I had to confront him about it. Actually, let's interview his teammate. Well, no offense to him, but he's no Michael Kerr.
All right, Michael Curran, John Ramos, you got a copy.
John, what is happening?
Yes, we got one.
Yeah.
We got one, boys. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing pretty dang good, having a great time. Hopefully you're having a great time as well. Enjoying yourself. What is your outlook on today's event?
Yeah, man, I'm amped. I mean, for me, this is pretty much win or go home for me. So I'm pretty far back from the cut line, so I'm going to be able to point my way into the championship round. So for me, it's win or go home. So I think there's going to be lots of chaos, lots of carnage. This setup is wicked, so I would expect to see some wrecks along the way. But I think guys are going to be desperate to make that championship race next week. So who knows what we could see? We can. I think anything is on the bingo card for today.
All right, fun to go ahead and hear. Fun to go ahead and see. 1:46 here left in the warm-up for yourself. Talk about the setup, because I mean we're watching the 29 and just lose it off a corner exit. It feels like every lap.
Yeah, that's exactly what the car wants to do. It really wants to just spin out on you. It's real snappy loose. So 1 second you're doing all right, and then the next it wants to head towards pit road. So yeah, I think you'll see lots of that. I think especially towards the end of the race, where guys are going to start pushing the car harder and harder. I think you'll start to see guys spin out or overcorrect and head it into the outside wall. So, yeah, it's gonna be wicked for sure.
All right, what are you expecting here for yourself?
So I think for the field, I think I would like to think everyone's probably going to take it easy the first few laps because the setup is so crazy loose. But for me, I got to work my way up to the front quickly. I'm not starting really up front. I think I'm on P11, I think, on the grid. So yeah, I got to make moves quickly while the tires are fresh, and hopefully I can stay up there and be there at the end.
I think YouTube just updated the live stream in the middle of this live stream. If you guys go ahead and click, oh, I lied, never mind. It was just or it could be something new what they're going to do with the new HD hub. Sorry, I hate to go ahead and cut you off randomly, but I did go ahead and see it. Good luck today, Curhan. Win, you're in. You don't win, yikes.
Appreciate it, John.
Less than a couple seconds remaining before we go back trackside. Jonathan Evans was the quickest to go around the racetrack during warm-up. Hunter, final questions before we go green.
Yeah, I was just going to touch up on that. As far as Curhan's point to being a lot of chaos, we usually average about 5 yellows in this one. Only once back in season 5 we had 1 yellow with 7 to go, and it was a 3-lap dash to the finish. Don't really get too many yellows towards the end of this one. We do see them towards the beginning and the middle portion of the event. As far as where the winner is concerned, 4 of the 5 races here, the winner has come from within the first 10 spots. Ed Robertson, back in season 2, won from 23rd, so it's not impossible to do. It's just it doesn't happen too often. And the pass for the win usually happens within the last 10 laps. So if the person's leading with 10 to go, not necessarily over. Anyone second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on back and have a shot at the win. And as he mentioned, there can be chaos. It's happened towards the end of this one. He navigated through a multi-car wreck in 3 and 4 in the last lap in season 3 to win in a 3-wide photo finish. So it can be done from Michael Curran.
Ooh, love it. You are so energetic today, and it is making me so happy.
Auto Club does this to me. This is one of the
Is this
best
your favorite
races
track?
Probably hands down. It's one of my favorites. As far as the area is concerned, it's one of the tracks I look forward to the most.
All right. Field continues to grid, and we're going to go ahead and show the starting lineup on the bottom of your screen. Who goes where? All presented by Central Mobile Homes Incorporated. Jake Nichols, Peyton Howell, they'll be leading us to green. Row number 2, Patrick Moose and John Hall are ready to rock and roll. Row number 3, Connor Horn and Jeremy Miller. Oh, Miller. That New Jersey scheme is headed to the rear. Row number 4 has Brandon Bowie and Jonathan Evans. Evans also to the rear. Row number 5 bring in Adam Cabot and Reese Schaefer. Welcome to row number 6. This is where you keep an eye on a driver that you expect to make the Final Four and hoping to make the Final Four, as in the fact he needs to win, get in. That's Michael Curran, Seth Knoll just to his side. Row number 7, Bailey Turner and Brett Bucari make up the significant row for both those machines. Row number 8, Philip Groner has Gary Grant to his side. Row number 9, Ed Robertson has Seth Berger in 77. Row number 10, David Weishart. You saw him how wicked loose he was in practice. Has been Pierce, ready to go green. Row 11, Blaze McKinney and Mason Kane in 31. Row number 12, Lee Norton and Josh Cottle. Cottle in the number 13. And see if he can get one last win this season. James Scioli and Max Service make up row 13. As row 14 has Ryan Swan and Bryce Senesac. Senesac hit the dust up. He's headed to the rear. Tyler Nichols and Tanner Betha will get ready to roll. Betha in number 78. Row 16, Travis Beckner will head to the rear with Hayden Swank at 70. Row 17, Frankie Barroso lined up with Justin Anisogak. 17 rows, 34 drivers, making up the starting grid for round 16 of the Area Cup Series. And a big thanks to everyone that's been hanging out with us, including Central Mobile Homes Incorporated. Looking for a smaller launch home, a new shed, or a Triple Crown trailer? Look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for 29 years with a plethora of small and large home floor plans. Shed designs and Triple Crown trailers available in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Lewiston, and Sebring. Head to Central Mobile Homes Incorporated to get yours today. 105 laps. We do this every year. Check where the closest forward is. It's 14. 2 Toyotas will lead us to green, and a line of Chevrolets make up 3rd through 7th. We'll get the one to go this time by and get ready to move in. Hunter Sleppy will be on pit road for the ones that have been listening in, been doing such a great job with all the pre-race excitement. And Auto Club, the daytime will be hot and slick, and we wonder what's going to happen with how wide these drivers can get. Who's my pick tonight, Hunter? Eric W. is asking.
who my pick is or your pick?
Well, we should do it again. What was your pick?
My pick was Connor Horn.
My pick was Jake Nichols. I believe it was Jake Nichols, if I'm not mistaken. It was a couple segments ago. If it isn't, it's my pick now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking through. As far as open car, is Kwame Scott here?
Kwame Scott is not.
Okay, so for my open car pick, I will go Patrick Moose because I'm looking through now. Since the playoffs began, he's finished better than the previous race. 16th at Bristol, 9th at Nashville, 6th at Las Vegas. Could be in for a pretty good night.
Think so. Be a Moose. Sitting at third. Championship eligible drivers on the scene. One has already advanced to the championship round. Everyone else is sitting back and waiting to see if they can be a part of that line. Auto Club Speedway, a defunct super speedway out in Southern California, held its last ever in-person race in 2023. The SimWorld has been overjoyed to have it on iRacing because, let's be honest, it's one of the best tracks on the sim. With that being said, let's light the fuse in round 16 at Fontana. And Howell, first one to strike, will get the race lead off turn number 2. Jeremy Miller and Moose all lined in, 2 by 2. Some machines to the outside, getting a hefty run off turn 2, while the bottom side dives deep into 3. Adam Cabot riding on with him. See Seth Nolan 1, sneaking right through the middle. Fontana, California, multi-groove racing. Inches off the outside retaining wall versus hugging that inside white line. Everything in the middle up for grabs as well. Can Miller make the move on Moose? Howell and Nichols. Nichols got the race lead. He was able to do it just before the line. Jeremy Miller to the outside, P3. Attempts to get a launch off turn number 2, not able to do so. Horn, Bowie, Cabot, 2 by 2. John Hall, Michael Curran, Seth Berger, Reese Schaefer in 13th, David Weishart back up to 14th. Three laps in. Working lap 4 of 105. And they'll be single file on that front straightaway, but they'll do everything in their power to make it work. Through the middle of 1 and 2, through the middle of 3 and 4. Bailey Turner, Seth Knoll, John Hall. There's Berger, up to 12. And John really doesn't have to push here, right? I mean, he started the race, knows he's already in the championship hunt. The fact that he's going into the Final Four, it would be great to get a win, yes. It would also be amazing for him to just finish this race and focus to Charlotte in a week time. There's Miller outside, inside Nichols. Center works well for the 73. Catapult launch for the 30. And Jeremy Miller can retake the lead down the back straightaway. Dan Howland 52 to the inside. Connor Horn underneath as well. Brandon Bowie in 6th. Adam Cabot in 7th. Seth Knoll watching on from the 8th position. Do we see a switch up? 3 drivers under a blanket for the race lead. Howell to the bottom. Miller, does he get a run? He does. How does he use the long back straightaway? Not fully to the advantage. Howell will hold on to the race lead. And we'll be seeing that switch up inside, outside, top lane, middle lane, whatever it takes for some of these drivers to get an advantage, to get a run. 6 out of 150. Bowie and Moose. Curhan, he's up to 9th. He's making up ground. But not as much as you would expect, just a couple spots since the drop of the green flag. Back to the race lead. Howell in 52, Miller in 30. It's a great run, just gets right to the back bumper. Nichols in the middle. Horn trying to cover up Bowie. This is racing at Auto Club Speedway. If you're just tuning on in, we say hello, we say welcome as the Area Cup Series thunders back to Fontana, California. 1 week from today, we'll have the championship race in Charlotte, North Carolina. We hope you are there, all watching live. What this next gen has been able to produce on tracks like Fontana, at tracks like Michigan. So poetic to watch. Nichols, near feet to the outside retaining wall.
John, jumping in from the pits, Lee Norton killed the barrels on lap 2 coming out of turn 4, and his car is in the pits. I don't know if he's coming back, but he took a pretty good hit on the right side of the car.
We do see that damage at least being repaired on pit road. Unfortunate news for Lee Norton. Fight on for second, Nichols, Miller, and Horn. Behind the Peyton Howell 52. Michael Curran in 9th. Has not been able to change much in the order. Adam Cabot in 7th. Patrick Moose is right on board with him. And the speeds here at Auto Club are fantastic. I mean, how this car is just able to break through the air, even with how much drag it really has. Caution. And it looks to be for Ryan Swan and Blaze McKinney. McKinney in 87, Swan in 20. Let's watch back and see what happened. $11 laps in on our first yellow. Looking, seeing. Oh, wow. Travis Beckner involved in the melee. Watch again. Beckner's 28 inside, Ryan Swan. Lost the machine coming down the track, and that's all she wrote. So caution will wave for the first time in this race. Pit road is wide open. Brandon Bowie electing to stay out. Connor Horn coming in. Seth Noel coming in. Moose coming in. A chance of strategy. Do you put 4 tires on the car? He did run about 11 laps, 12 laps now. Will be interesting to see. They're in their stall. Right sides you expect to come up first. That's exactly what gets done. Some machines stand out like John Hall, Jeremy Miller, Jake Nichols. But on pit road, Adam Cabot, Michael Curran. The left sides as well. 4 tires and away they go. Racing at Fontana Speedway, always a blast, always exciting. We've already got to see some of that action before the caution came out. Hunter Sleppy with an update.
Yeah, so chat with Ryan Swan, who, by the way, making his 200th area start across all 3 area series. He said that he has no clue what happened, and that sums up his area career, and that he self-proclaims that he is terrible. Unfortunate there for Swan. As for Travis Spector, he has no clue what happened either. He just was along for the ride. Also, there were a couple of guys who pitted there. I can't remember who they were, but they talked about pitting for 4 tires and no fuel, which I find to be very interesting. Not sure why you would take no fuel, but unless they're banking on more yellows and then they come in and pit towards halfway. But yeah, then again, I have no clue on that. But most guys that come in did take 4. Talk with some of the solar flare guys. They said that the bumps on the backstretch heading into turn 3, about a lane below the wall, the worst of the bumps right there. So that's going to be a key point for these guys trying to dial in the corner.
All right. Nichols and Miller, Bowie and Hall. All lined up 2 by 2. Getting ready for the impending restart. Anna Sogak. Always fun to see what Anna Sogak's able to do. Hanging out there in the 7th position, Seth Berger. Watching on from 8th. Reese Schaefer, Peyton Howe. Schaefer in 9th, Howe in the 10th position. So lights off on top of the pace car as they get ready to ride just one more time. This is racing in the Area Cup Series. Matt Green for the Auto Club Speedway. Nichols jumps out, early lead. Bowie tucked in line, but the outside lane nowhere to beat at turn 1. Oh, trouble Weishart into the outside wall. Does he save it? Does not fully go around. We stay green. 1 sliding through the grass. Philip Groner. And now the caution will wave. Man. Wow. Got wild and wild in a hurry. Watch back. Already 3 wide into turn 1. Watch once more. Look how much air Groner got. This now from a different view. So much going down in just a matter of moments, and it will bring the caution out for the second time in this race. How quickly you can go from race pace to madness. Hunter Sleppy.
Yeah, so a lot of moving pieces with that one. The one got in front of Bailey Turner, and kind of the main catalyst for that. Turner was very confused by that. Weishart saying that his car is killed over the radio. Jonathan Evans was a part of that, got into Ed Robertson, and Evans was just beside himself, just upset that he lost it in the middle of the straightaway. But from what I'm seeing, he went over a pretty bad bump that kind of sent his car to the right, and then into Ed Robertson, who got clipped by Philip Groner. Ed is upset and frustrated. He's done. He's out of the Discord. I have not talked to Philip Groner yet, but yeah, very weird wreck to happen early on at Auto Club.
Interesting. 16 laps in with 105 laps to go. 2 cautions now in the books for this event. Is this something that's a common theme? Hunter Sleppy?
Sorry, I kind of lagged there at the end.
Would you say this is something that's like a common theme?
Definitely for the beginning and the middle portion of this race, yeah. Towards the end of it, we'll see some, might see some more calm racing, but I would expect it to get a little bit more intense towards the end. But I think after this, these guys are going to get into a nice groove and find their rhythm in the long run. And I did talk with Brent Bucari. He said that the right rear is going to be really important to try and manage, especially on this surface. So anytime these guys can pit and get new tires, they're most likely going to take it.
Indeed. Let's go ahead and drag a driver in here, hear what they've got to say. Jeremy Miller, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Couple cautions early on. You still got a lot of racing left to go. How do you manage?
Oh, well, we're just going to hope nobody packs air on us and wrecks us, but otherwise we're on the older tires right now, so we're going to go backwards for a little bit here, but if we get a good time to go where we can take our tires and those guys can't, we'll move back forward.
Is it called air griefing? Someone used a term like that last night where it was like aero griefing or something like that, where you can really pack air on the back end of a car and get a driver loose.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's a little exaggerated here with the bumps. We were talking about that before the race. Like me and Connor, just when you're going over the bumps, the diffuser's moving so much here that it makes it a little bit worse as well. So if somebody's close to your bumper, you can get really sideways really quickly.
Wow, okay. We do expect things to get quickly turning around here at Auto Club. Miller, good luck.
Thank you.
Running in the 3rd position. One of the 609 drivers.
Real quick before we go back green, they gave plus 2 incident points to 25 of Bailey Turner for that. So if he advances to the championship 4, he'll have an EOL and we'll start the back next week.
Wow. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's go back green from Fontana, California. Nichols scoots away. Hay and Howe, Justin Anasogak, Scioli, Horn, spread them out, becoming a Champions Club member for 22 months. Thank you so much. Scioli back in 11th. Hay and Howe hanging out in the 4th position. Single file behind the Jake Nichols 73. Miller, Howe, Bowie, Moose. That's the top 5. Gerhan, Hall, Horn, and Sogak and Cottle. Cabot hanging out. Scioli, Blaze McKinney. Searching for air, searching for grip. What's really cool about Auto Club, we have a lot of low-hanging camera angles with how this track is built. Sells the speed, sells the intensity just so well. Miller P2, Howell P3. And 86, now 85 laps remaining in the event. Michael Curhan under pressure. Connor Horn. See how loose the 24 got up near the outside retaining wall. Once again, the Elite 8 left side of your screen. You can see them color coordinated. Scioli, Curran, Horn, Turner, Cabot, Hall, Nichols, and Knoll. There's Adam Cabot. Underneath, Justin Anasogak. Bayonel runs to the back bumper of Nichols and gets up and into the outside wall. Now you can see the Elite Entertainment logo on the back bumper of that Toyota. Company from John Hall. He's going to go underneath the Seth Knoll one. .83 to go. Howell to the lead. Runs to the bottom side of the racetrack. Nichols up top. Brandon Bowie lined up with Connor Horn. Howell with the run underneath Jake Nichols. Nichols trying to go ahead and cover. But Howell will have the advantage to turn 3. Hook, line, and sink it. Allows Miller into the groove. And just behind, it's Moose versus Horn. Knoll versus Curran. Howell, I don't think he led that one. Nichols just bested him at the line. It's loose, up and into the outside wall. Miller is there. Man, these cars are wicked loose. Hard to control, hard to master. Which is what's making the interesting side of the racing. Howell to the bottom. Miller way up top. And Payton Howell will move back into second. Miller has company, and that and Horn, that and Knoll. How about that also, Patrick Moose? .80 to go. in second, Horn in third. Jeremy Miller, P4 outside, down of Connor Horn. Don't think it's going to work just yet. Let's bring in Hunter Sluppy with an update.
Yeah, just chatting with Ed Robertson. He's back. We're talking about Phillies because we're close to the Philadelphia region. Jonathan Evans was confused as to why he was the only one running the bottom, and just seeing everyone go around him. Seems like the outside lane is the lane that the majority tends to go for. They're just kind of riding it out until they get to around lap 50 to 55, where the fuel cycle could change. They might come in earlier though, with the way the tires are, but won't know for sure. Still going through the channels to see which driver has the best strategy.
All right. Curran and Moose, all tightly knit together. Josh Cottle, Adam Cabot. Shuffling, swaying, changing of positions. Howell in the middle, Horn on the inside. Has Jake Nichols on the far side, 3 wide it is. Now could cover. Nichols underneath. He's got him. Jake Nichols will lead that lap. Here comes Horn to the outside as Howell covers off. Nichols versus Howell side by side. Horn P3, Miller P4, has run right to the back bumper. Moose and Connell, 7th and 8th, barreling onto over each other. And now on a complete conga line. 75 laps to go from Auto Club Speedway. There's Josh Cottle. Oh, and Noel gets up into the outside wall. Curhan getting back in line. Seth Knowles 1. Gets the run off corner exit. There's Payne Howe. There's Jake Nichols, Connor Horn, and Jerry Miller. And no one's really been able to get away. And you look at the bottom part of the track. Norton, Swag, really the only ones out of contention. You got 31 guys still ripping for the race lead, for the race win. And yeah, there's separation, right? There's still drivers just getting to the line. But up front, it's separated by a second in between the top 12. Moose in 4th. Miller in 6th. .72 to go. John Hall, Blaze McKinney, Brandon Bowie. Now with 72 laps to go, this is where we sit. 3 wide it is. McKinney to the inside of John Hall. Connor Horn has moved up and into the second position. Can he win his way into a Finals 4 spot? One to the wall. Was it Curhan? I don't think so. May have been Jerry Miller. Check again when you see the right side. You can already see some type of crunch from the low-hanging fruit of a camera. Yeah, he definitely pierced it. Jerry Miller gets up and into the outside retaining wall. Loses spots. Here's the fight for the lead. Horn on the bottom. Howell's going to switch it up. Nichols P3. Horn, Moose, Knoll, Cabot. Blaze McKinney in 7th. How? Can he hold off that of Jake Nichols? And now Patrick Moose with 69 rotations still left to go. Hunter Slepian update.
Coming through with an update. Jeremy Miller not too happy with Michael Curran over the radio. Said that he got air packed on his car. That's what led him into the wall. Also, a couple of updates. Seth Berger and Josiah Sogak saying that if they run where the others are not running, that they move up significantly. And some of these guys are just now starting to shift. A couple playoff drivers, John Hall, Michael Curran, they're starting to shift throughout the run, and they're taking notice of how much better their car is running. So something to keep an eye on there. And still waiting on pit stops. Not too many have spoken about when they're going to pit or how they're going to pit, but
Caution.
Something to keep an eye on. Oh, it is Jeremy Miller on the backstretch.
We saw him get up into the outside wall at one point. I believe that may have been Max Service back there going around as well. Well, now what does this do for strategy, you think?
You got to come down pit road. Any chance you can to put new tires on, might as well do it. Seemed like him in the 5 with Garrett Grant might have made a little contact in that too. Let me go see what that's all about.
All right. How have you been enjoying this race, Hunter? I believe Hunter left us just before he can get that information. Deeper in the field, there was Miller. Remember, he got up in the outside wall. Him in the 5 of Garrett Grant made contact. And around goes Miller's 30. So the second caution out in this race. Miller was seen sideways off corner exit. Pit road, it's wide open. Multiple drivers coming in. Horn, Knoll, Hall, Cabot, McKinney, Bowie, Turner. Nichols is in his stall. Howell is in his stall. Right side's up. You expect 4 tires to be the way, and they'll go that way. Hunter, what did you see?
So the 97 already apologized over the radio. Garrett said that the 97 kind of came up, packed air on his nose, and he said that the 30 Miller unexpectedly got too close to his outside and didn't really know where to go from there. And Miller didn't know if that was his fault or not, which it wasn't, but interesting to note, some of the guys that are pitting now, Jake Nichols and John Hall, apparently they have not put on a different set of tires. So, I think the 73 did, so he'll be good there. I think John Hall did as well. The admins are still looking at it as far as to determine who gets incident points. They're still discussing it, but yeah, a lot of the guys came in, they took tires. I would assume they took fuel as well. They still need to make one more stop to get to the end.
All right. Should be fun
And
to see.
update on that. They ruled it a racing deal, so no one gets incident points.
So 66 to go where our championship runners are right now. Who do you think is mathematically in and mathematically out if you can do quick math?
I would definitely say Jake Nichols. He's got a pretty substantial gap to 5th place in the standings. Connor Horn mentioned that he was 11 back, doesn't necessarily need to point his way in. Looking at where Adam Cabot is, that's not going to help him. What does help him, I'm trying to find where he's at in the leaderboard. So there's 6 guys in the top 10. The other 2 are back. That's Curran at 11th, so going to need a little more there to try and move on up, but I still think Connor Horn's in a pretty good spot. Scioli and Curran kind of need to make up a lot of ground. Cabot, if he continues to run where he's at, he'll be fine. Hall, he's got the win. Doesn't really need to worry about this. Same with Seth Knoll. He's pretty good on. Actually, he's really good on. So Knoll and Nichols, I think they're mathematically locked in, not 100%. Knoll, I will say though, probably he's got over 40 points to the gap. So unless something drastic happens, where he intent wrecks and then gets suspended, I think he'll be locked in.
All right. Allen, Moose, Nichols, and Horn, that is the top 4. At least as of right now on the racetrack. John Hall, Knoll, McKinney, Cabot, Turner, and Bowie, they make up the top 10. Pace car will make the hard left onto pit road. Let's see what they got. Pay and Howell, Toyota. Patrick Moose, Chevrolet. 64 to go from Auto Club. Nichols wide up near the outside wall. Connor Horn, Blaze McKinney, John Hall. Hall in 7th, Cabot in 8th. Trying to find what they can do 2 by 2. Moose inside in 34. Howell continues to lead. Seth Knoll inches off the outside retaining wall. Howell the leader. Horn in 4th. Seeing what that 03 is doing, I mean, it's just very conservative in and out of the corners. Not trying to push too hard, understanding the situation that others are in. Here's the battle for the race lead. Nichols on the inside, Howell in the middle. Hay and Howell pushing off exit. Got him cleared. Seth Knoll, Connor Horn up the 4th. McKinney back in 5th. Brandon Bowie, Patrick Moose, Curhan, Turner, and Cabot. With Evans back there as well. .60 to go. We continue to want to watch what's going on up front, right? With Peyton Howe, with Jake Nichols. But deep in the field, and I really even say that deep, it's really just back there in 12th, 11th. Drivers are still jostling for spots. Evans, Betha, Cabot, Cottle. One trying one way, others trying another. Inside Evans. Does he make up ground? I believe he does. All to the bottom in 6th. Blaze McKinney in 5th. Seth Knoll hanging out in 3rd, Connor Horn in 4th. .58 to go. Seth Knoll on the move. He's up to 3rd. And we're used to seeing this, right? Seth Knoll making up ground, trying different things. Different drives, different opportunities. But Jake Nichols just hounding the back bumper of Howell. It's allowed Knoll to make up the ground. .56 to go. Howell versus Nichols, still wheel to wheel. McKinney, Bowie, John Hall. And a bind together. There's Connor Horn, P4. Kenny and Bowie. Bowie in 6. Moose, P8. And have not left that single file run. .54 to go. How Blaze McKinney has been able to go up to the top 5 and fight for a win. Interesting, because so many aren't used to seeing him on this end of the pack. Fighting, clawing, trying different things. Hunter Sleppy, you got an update.
Yeah, Garrett Green had a moment in the middle of 1 and 2. I'm not sure what happened, but he's very slow right now.
All right. Is that about it?
Trying to figure out what's going on there. Everyone else is just jockeying for position and just trying to migrate towards the outside lane.
Interesting. Great to see other drivers trying different things, different runs. Horn under Nichols. Nichols able to clear. Nichols 11 back. Can he make the strike? Two in front of Connor Horn. 51 to go. Where are our championship drivers running? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are up inside the top 20. We'll show the rest of the field deeper in the pack. Scioli and others. Racing with heart, racing with an opportunity. Nichols, Horn, Noel, Hall, that's the top 4 of the championship drivers running. Turner, Curhan, up inside the top 10 as well, making up 6 of the 8. And the final 2 coming across the line, Cabot and Scioli, 11th and 15th. Now Cabot's got to make up ground. James Scioli came into this race P8. Needed something to go his way. Right now it's not. Coming about 50 to go. Just past the halfway point of the race. Nichols, bottom side of Howell. Toyota on Toyota, Chevrolet in third. And Seth Knowles been holding on to the 4th place position. Bailey Turner in 6th. There's no outside lane. Oak gets up into the wall. Allows Hall to make a move to his inside. Horn, Nichols, and Howell. Man, Howell just a man on a mission. Trying different lanes, different runs. Nichols. Inside of Howell, is this going to work? Howell trying to cover. Connor Horn, can you believe it? From third to first, but Nichols will take it back. Caution. Blaze McKinney in a huge wreck on the front straightaway. Hayden Swank involved in the incident. Let's see. Around this area, James Scioli and others. Oh, out of shape was a 26. That was about it. Justin Anasogak, who like multiple times this year has been collateral damage on an incident. It all started when Jonathan Evans got turned sideways. Oh, man. You see all the other drivers just being involved. Hayden Swank. I could have sworn I saw in the live chat someone mentioning Hayden Swank possibly being involved in an incident. Right now, winning in the live chat, Eric W. With 225 XP being the highest fan. We are Lucky Duck in second. Mikey Duche, the top three. Pit road is wide open. And everybody continues to come on down. Hunter Sleppy.
Yeah, so for pit stops, these guys are good to go the rest of the way on fuel. It's obviously going to be about tires towards the later part of this run. If we do get another yellow, I would expect some guys to come down pit road, but fuel mileage out the window. They'll be good to go unless we get a bunch of overtimes. In that case, then it could become an issue. Jonathan Evans not happy over the radio with Blaze McKinney, saying that he ran the top every time, but then as soon as he runs bottom, he packs air to my rear, and it just spun me around. And Sogak was caught up in that as well. He was more so happy that he spun into someone to save them from spinning out even further, if that makes any sense. And yeah, the outside lane is typically the lane you want to be in towards the end of the run, from what I've heard from the Solar Flare guys.
All right. Outside lane, it's been working. So who's got what to offer with 43 laps to go? Let's go ahead and chat with some drivers. Let's see. Connor Horn's been quick. Connor Horn, John Ramos, you got a copy. Oh,
he's in the... There we go.
There we go. Connor Horn, John Ramos, you got a copy.
Yeah.
Ooh, just a quick, yeah, you're up front, you're running well. What is it going to take for victory lane?
I gotta beat Jake somehow. Passing is tough. Got Peyton out of the lead. He's racing kind of with no respect with the way he's blocking everyone across the track, but it's a package, so it is what it is. Try something until you get the lead, and get it. I got by him. He'll probably end up returning the favor with aero pack. He did it the next time in the 3, but restarts are important. Excellent restarts are important as a tires gauge. I think it gets tough to pass, and weirdly enough, also being a leader at the same time, I don't think is an advantage. I think your car is worse in clean air, so it's gonna be tough. I think restarts. It's gonna come down to those. I don't think I can point my way in. Bailey and Adam are running a little too well to do that. I'm trying to get this led as well, but hopefully one of us can make it. 6-9 Motorsports team, all three of us have done a great job in the playoffs to get to this point. Matthew told me we were painting our pants season. This could get in. It's me, but just one of us get in. The chance at Charlotte would be nice.
All right. When you're in, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and drag Connor Horn back to his chat. 41 laps to go from the Auto Club Speedway. Lucky Duck dropping down $2 of a super sticker. Cream the Rabbit with the VIP pass. Want to say thank you to you all for helping out so much here tonight. Sputter Mouth as well with the Champions Club. What to do, Fontana, California. Nichols holds on the lead. Howell second. Horn drop kick the third. Bailey Turner, John Hall, Michael Curhan. There's Brandon Bowie in the moves. Patrick Moose. 40 to go. James Scioli inside. Curhan will join in. Seth Knoll running in that second lane. John Hall in fifth, Bailey Turner in sixth, Adam Cabot in seventh. Caution. Hayden Swank, Justin Anasogak involved in yet another incident. We really want to say thank you to everyone that's dropped a like on tonight's stream. Really has helped us out a lot. Back-to-back days like this with the commentating, it's tough. It's rigorous. Put in perspective how many miles we're going to put within the last couple of days. 610 within 2 days. 400 yesterday. 210 solo casting today. And a Sogak to the outside. Blaze McKinney in the middle. Then Pierce. Oh man, did he get loose on the outside or did he get held? Let's watch again. Oh, Hayden Swank definitely came up the racetrack. Hunter Sleppy.
Yeah, not really sure what happened there. Anna Sogak really upset about what happened with him and Hayden Swank. He's confused as to... Swank said over there that he had a call for clear on the outside. Anna Sogak is confused as to why that would be the case. Nonetheless, a frustrating night for the 88, having a solid run. Clear cut and dry, +2 for the 70. And then that most recent one, Jonathan Evans got +2 for the most recent yellow. And then talked to Prem Bukhari, he said that these guys are going to act cuckoo and go 5 lanes wide and wrecking each other. This is why I don't like playoffs, even though he's not part of it, but just as a whole, just because towards the end of this one, especially with the championship 4 on the line, it could get a little chaotic, and we're starting to see just a little bit of that still with about 40-some laps.
Indeed. Including non-playoff drivers. You know, there's not many races left. You let me go out there and get a win?
Yeah, that's the goal. If you're a non-playoff driver, just survive and get the best finish possible, even a win if that's possible for Payne Howell. Brandon Bowie and Josh Cottle, they are they've had really solid nights tonight. They could mix it up towards the end if things get a little too hectic for the playoff drivers. But before that second to last yellow, Curran had a handful over the radio with Cottle. They were having a blast, but if we do get a long run, it could get a little more chaotic towards the end. But still, like any of the solar flare guys that can, well, now that they got Noel and Nichols up front, but I'm still not counting out Connor Horn. I think this is his best chance at winning this season.
Yeah, Connor Horn has been on a tear. Very calm and collective as well in the interview. What else have you heard from the 609 group?
Not really much, just Jeremy Miller occasionally getting annoyed from someone cutting him off or putting him in the wall, but other than that, it's been quiet. As far as Adam Cabot, he's had a top 10 night all the way around. Bailey Turner, he's been near some carnage, but has stayed relatively okay. And then, yeah, Connor Horn just trying to fight for the win.
All right. Will be 36 laps to go when we get to the line. Always great information there from Hunter Slumpy. Get ready to see what they bring. If someone's going to get it done. Toyota on Toyota, 36 to go. Nichols in front of the 52 of Howe. Noel, Hall, and others. Nichols at the bottom. Howe in line. Noel. Does he switch it up? Gets in the back bumper, the 52. Two wide, three wide. Drivers trying different things. Bailey Turner in 7th. John Hall, 03, thundering off the outside lane. All seeing if they can track down Jake Nichols, 73. Hal gets in front. Noel looks to the inside and gets covered off. Bowie, what does he do? Lining up with Cottle. John Hall, P4, lining up there with Turner. There's the race leaders ahead. Seth Noel, Payne Howe, and Jake Nichols. Turner, P5. Bowie in 54. Now they're trying to see what they can run with, right? Inside lane working, outside lane working. Different lanes now coming in. This is where the energy is starting to be amped up just a little more. Hall in fourth, Turner in fifth, Bowie in sixth. Cottle, Horn, Moose, Cabot, Curran, Blaze McKinney. Now underneath Jake Nichols. And these two have been fighting tooth and nail. At some point, it's going to go ahead and break. And we're coming to 30 laps to go. Jake Nichols has the race lead for now. Bowie, Turner, Hall, P4. Wrecking up towards the outside wall, turn two. Tyler Nichols, Bryce Senesac, yes it is, and Seth Berger. That's just been troubling for those drivers that have not been able to get the track to the liking. How does he try it again? Jake Nichols has just been that good. Howell P2. Not going to change yet. There's Hall, there's Knoll, that's third and fourth. Sideways goes one. Underneath goes another. Nichols puts Hell in the wall. Seth Knoll, 4 wide to the race lead. And Bailey Turner's on the scene. He will lead a turn one. What a turn of events! And Hull jumps to third, Cottle back to fourth. That's a way to wake this crowd up. Michael Curhan to the inside, that's a Ford. And Payne Howell drop kicked. Not to fifth, not to sixth, trying ninth within a lap. John Hall's there, he could steal the show. Yeah. How about it? Curhan in eighth. Brandon Bowie. Doing great things running up towards the front side of the field. Horn in seventh. There he stands. Horn P6, Michael Curhan P7, Bailey Turner's 8th, one up to the outside wall again. You still have Hall in 3rd, Nichols back to 4th. The scrum hasn't stopped. Peyton Howes on the move, he's 3 wide topside. Bowie, Hall, wheel to wheel. Knoll holds on to the race lead for now. And the Moose Machine is in 7th. Now underneath, McKinney to the outside, McKinney into the outside wall. Now 3 wide he goes with Jeremy Miller. Brandon Bowie trying to steal the show from Seth Knoll. Coming at 22 to go. Missile lock to the back bumper of the Toyota. Connor Horn. There on the scene, John Hall in 3rd. .22 left. Down to 21. Josh Cottle, Connor Horn. Bowie has the lead, but can he hold it? No, not so fast. Nichols loose, center of the corner. Bowie's in the fence. Jake Nichols, unbelievable, back to the race lead, and they're training up, single file to 4. $19 to go. If you can't feel the thunder, you don't have this thing loud enough on your TV, tablet, phone, or PC. Three wide, that's for 3rd. Horn in the middle, Connell on the bottom, Knoll on the outside. It's racy in area. It's been racy really since the beginning, but it was more controlled. This is where they've let loose. I think I said this last night during the e-ticket event. You don't want to see a caution. You want to see these boys race this thing back to the checkered flag. Who can manage the tires? A setup that's not working well in the blistering heat. Let this go green. Bowie P2. Horn P4. And Nichols gets away for now. when you think about me, you may think about 17 laps to go. And Jake Nichols, what he can do, what he can withstand. If the field behind him can just order up, single file. Coddles in 7th. John Hall, Connor Horn, Brandon Bowie. Top of the racetrack. Inside you see the John Hall machine. He will make up the ground, but won't have the forward momentum off turn number 2. This is where Bowie can strike again. Jake Nichols, you thought he was going to pull away? I think not. Seth Knoll is there. And I don't think wants to leave. And that is what you didn't want to see. Caution out, Patrick Moose, Brett Puncari, Ben Pierce. And what transcribed on the front straightaway. And Sogak, you see Moose, who has turned around sideways in 34. $14 to go, pit road's open, everybody's coming on in. Hunter Sleppy.
Yeah, 4 tires for presumably everyone. Maybe Michael Curran might take 2, don't know 100% sure, but Patrick Moose just said that he had a loss of talent moment there. Pretty clear, cut and dry. Everybody else is coming in and taking 4, presumably. I think some took 2, actually. I think Connor Horn lost quite a bit of positions leading to the front. Nonetheless, it's going to be fun to see who gets in the championship 4. And how about Brandon Bowie? He mentioned it. He was running 9th before that. He was running 9th before that last yellow came out, and then drove up to the front. And yeah, he's a contender now. And
I can't believe it.
I can't either, and it's pretty huge too, because his team is currently tied for dead last in the team standings, and the last place team for area, they lose their charters at the end of the season. So with the way he's running now, it's looking like he probably won't be, his team probably won't be last. Yeah, it's him and Slaughterson Racing. So putting himself and his team in a good spot.
Another big thing to go ahead and note. He was in the playoffs. And what happened? Didn't work out well, right? Round of 12?
Yeah.
Opportunity, it's on the board. Let's see what all happens.
These open cars, they non-playoff cars, they're just going after wins. And I joined it, and I was like, man, you're leading this. And he said, yeah, this usually doesn't happen, and it's not supposed to. He was just caught off guard by it, but yeah, Brandon Bowie could be a late contender for the win here.
This is going to be fun to see. Toyota, Chevrolet, that will make up the front row. Seth Knowles, Scioli, Hall, and Nichols are all 4 championship contenders up to the front. Hall doesn't need to win this race. Scioli, do you think Scioli needs to win?
100%. The end last in the points.
It's got to get it done right here, right now. Horn and Cabot make up the rest of the 6 in the top 10 that are playoff contenders. Bailey Turner and Michael Curhan sit 13th and 15th. Hunter, what are you expecting on this restart?
A lot of calamity, maybe some wrecking.
All right. We'll be 12.
I think those guys up front, I think they took 2 because I don't remember Scioli being up there.
No, me neither.
Actually, he complained on that last run because he lost outside, and he said, well, GG, it was fun while it lasted. If you're on the outside, you're going nowhere.
Oh, now he's going to be back on the outside again.
Yeah, if you're this far back in the points, you got to do what you got to do to try and make up as much ground as possible.
Has the opportunity to do so. Let's get ready to rumble. Nichols, Hall, Scioli, and all. Get ready to go back to the restart zone. It's 12 to go from Fontana, California. Noel on the inside, 3 wide. It's going to work. Puts Hall in the outside wall. Both the machines collide. They don't lose their spots until that of the 03 of Hall gets to the inside. And a huge smack. One sliding. Does he make it to pit road? That may have been max service. It is off the racing surface. It is in the grass. No caution. And Seth Knowles' car is wounded. James Scioli is the race leader. That car was hill handling. And if you're Jake Nichols, do you pass a teammate? Say so, you're going for the win, but you know this teammate ahead of you, the only way he gets into the Final Four is if he wins. And you could have 3 solar flare cars going for a championship. John Hall, he's down in 4th. Connell in 9th, Turner in 8th. There's a switch up. 26 of Evans to the inside. 4 wide, that's how they run to the high banks. Payne Howell, not done. Remember, he got on that outside wall a couple laps ago. Still holding on, P3. Jake Nichols in 2nd. James Scioli, the race leader. The difference, 2 tenths. And now 8 laps. A&L, P3. John Hall, P4. Three wide again. Hall underneath Howell. You gotta watch out for the arrow push. 7 to go. Inside goes Howell. That's on Nichols. Can he clear? I don't think so. Even down the back straightaway. Allen 2nd, contact. Him and Nichols. Nichols able to clear. Howell holds on to third. John Hall, Connor Horn, Brandon Bowie. Top 6. Nichols in front. How about some muscle? Right to Jake Nichols. Allows Connor Horn in, allows Brandon Bowie, and so does John Hall. Everyone chasing James Scioli with 5 to go. Look at Nichols. I mean, he's playing defense, doing what he can. Keeping these guys behind now half a second. Connor Horn is there if he pulls alongside the Peyton Howell 52. It could make a difference. Howell's just looking for victory lane, trophy hunting. Jake Nichols knows if Connor Horn wins, Connor Horn advances. And that's what 609 wants. Nichols tried. James Scioli, out of the 8 drivers going for a championship, he enters this race 8th after a pretty solid season. Now 3 laps to decide if he's going to race for a championship. I don't look now, but here comes Howell. 2-5 back, 3 to go. Winds up a charge. Runs a higher line at 1 and 2. Missile lock to the 7. 2-7 the difference. 2-5 the difference. A 2-4 on corner entry. 3 to go. Oh, Scioli's loose. And he's going to lose some time. Howell make up a deficit. A 2 flat into turns 1 and 2. Maybe even less. And that one slip of Scioli allowed Howell to bring her back in. He's better on the straights while Scioli is better in the corners. If something's going to happen, it has to happen now. 2 back and change, that's enough for a heave. Scioli to the inside, Howell to the outside. Salamanca, 1 to go from Auto Club. He's there, he's at the door, knocking for a way in. Oh, and the 7 just so slow off turn number 2. Peyton Howell. Is this the moment that Scioli advances? Howell with the heave. Doesn't work out. James Scioli will race for a championship at Charlotte in a week's time with victory in Auto Club. Nichols second, Howell comes third, Connor Horn comes in 4th, and Solar Flare unofficially will have 3 drivers racing for a championship. And quickly we'll speak to him. James Scioli, welcome to Charlotte.
Oh, thank you, man. I can't believe it. Just took 2 there at the end. Believed in did myself bleed to my teammate. You know, I really appreciate Jake taking the top there, really helped me out, and then kind of playing a little bit of defense for her to make sure 3 solar flare cars got in, and just had to hit my marks and not make any big mistakes, to be honest.
Unofficially, you, Jake Nichols, Seth Knoll, and John Hall will race for a title. We started at Daytona where it was solar flare dominance. The middle part of the season looked so empty for so many of you guys, and coming up strong. What was happening in those final moments in your head?
Honestly, it was all just about not making any mistakes. You know, I didn't want to give it to anybody. If I got passed, I got passed. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But just no mistakes, no big slides off the corners, which it was easy to do. And honestly, I figured if I could do that, then I'd have a good shot. I know Peyton really sent it in 3 and 4, got me a little bit arrow loose, but luckily we didn't make any actual contact, and I was just kind of able to gather it up, and he ended up in the fence. So yeah, just crazy to walk it off like this, especially after, you know, wrecking last week and just being so many points out and really needing to win without a bunch of carnage. So yeah, just crazy.
This was easily the greatest race of the year for area. I mean, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. You were able to go to victory lane. The car wasn't working well with you very early on. We saw you outside the top 10. What was the adjustment?
Yeah, just qualified bad, so I figured that I'd try and, you know, just see if saving tires worked, and it worked a little bit, but we just never really got a long enough run to get up there. So then I think it was the restart with around 30, 40 to go. I said, all right, I'm just going to start, you know, shifting, start driving hard like these guys, and just see if I can make up any spots, and was able to gain a couple, and then just take 2, honestly, at the end, and hope that I had enough grip to get her done.
All right. Wow. Unbelievable. What do you want to say to these viewers?
I want to say thanks to everybody for watching. Thank you for putting these on. We really appreciate it. You know, all the work that you've done throughout the season. It doesn't go unnoticed. You know, you taking your time to help us out. Huge shout out to the admin team as well. Same thing. You know, spending a lot of time. You know, that they don't really need to. They're not racing, but they spend the time, help us out. Huge shout out to Drafty Car Elite Entertainment and JWR Race Cars for being on the car, and shout out to Solar Flare teammates, Jake especially, you know, second place. I know a couple others got wrecked, but all in all, a pretty good team day as well. And hopefully we're talking to you guys again next week in Victory Lane.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
James Scioli is headed to the Championship 4. Hunter Sleppy, you got to see it. What did you think?
Phenomenal drive from Skyler. He's the first driver to win in a must-win scenario since Brad Slaughter a couple seasons ago at Kansas, and furthest the winner has come from the field at Auto Club. Started all the way back in 25th.
Unbelievable. Jake Nichols, you helped out there. What was the team strategy?
Just driving hard. You know, he got me on the restart. I kind of ran a little too high in 3 and 4, but then I was just kind of go as fast as we could, pretty much. I felt like battling each other wasn't going to really help either one of us, and I don't know, I guess yellow cars liked me for some reason. We kept getting hit by the same car. I don't know why. It just makes no sense being in that scenario. I don't get it, but who am I guess? I don't know. But I'm glad our Elite Entertainment Toyota Camry was on rails. I felt like these past 2 weeks with the off week, I was going to win this race, or James was, to make it to the Final Four. I love this place, and I love racing it, and it's a really like finesse thing, especially with this kind of package where there is dirty air and a little bit of getting people loose behind them. But man, I can't believe it. I'm glad for James. I'm glad for Solar Flare here, 1-2. Pretty good performance overall as a team. So we'll take it, and you know, I'm glad I saved it back there when I got turned in the middle 3 and 4. I've had experience here a few early on in this league. I got turned the same way for the win, and that ended up in junk. This time we saved it and kept going, but can't thank our partners enough at JWR Race Cars and Drafty Car. It's unbelievable. I'm glad I told James to run the pink and black car today, because he's had such bad luck in the other paint scheme he's ran, so I felt like maybe he'd swing it the other way, and look at that, P1.
Look at that. It'll be you going up against, if I'm not mistaken, Seth Knoll as well, with a big championship on the line. 3 Solar Flare cars. Is there going to be any strategy, or is it going to be, hey, go like hell?
Well, if we never really, we're not going to put each other in spots, you know, that you can wreck each other or something. Like, we're not going to race against each other in that regard. We're obviously going to race hard. We all want to go win the championship. James and I are in a little battle if I make the Final Four in the trucks to be the first person to win all three series of championship cup, trucks and Xfinity on Thursdays. And Monday's the one he's lacking, so it's going to be a fight. Last season we had all three of us in the Final Four, and we lost. It was kind of a fuel game the whole race, but I don't plan on losing this time around. I think I've brought it in these playoffs, especially these past 2 weeks, 2 back-to-back poles here, so I'm hoping I can just go and win for Elite Entertainment.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nichols in second, but Pay and Hal, my goodness, what a run. You got fenced at one point. You got it back up to second, but the clock struck 0, unfortunately, P3.
Man, that was the most fun race I've had in a long time. I hope I put on a show. I hope we all did, racing up there for the lead. Yeah, I wanted that one, my final area cup race, so I was trying to go out with the bang, and yeah, I made some people mad. Didn't mean to. Jake Nichols got into him twice. The first time I was just trying to air grief him, didn't work. I ended up hitting him. Did not mean to do that. And then I felt like I was getting team raced, so he gave me the whole bottom, and I ran with him on his door, and it knocked him off the track. And I felt like that was my only shot to win. So I had to get it around him somehow to have a shot at games.
Well, it was close. You got one more chance to go to victory lane this year at Charlotte. Are you looking forward to it next week?
I won't be there. Like I said, this is my final area cup race. I won't be running after tonight. So yeah, I wanted to go out with the bang, and it just came up a little short.
That's very unfortunate indeed, but nonetheless, a great run for Pay and Hal. Congratulations.
Yep. Real quick, can I thank
Go ahead.
Powerhouse and Ben and all the guys. This is my final race with them as well. So wanted to get a win for them before I went out. And I got to thank Blaze for all the paints over the last couple seasons. Celsius, Nerditudes, Race Stop Suicide, Icon Apparel, Unrivaled Innovations, Menards. You've put on the broadcast, everybody for watching. Yeah, it's been fun.
It has. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Pay and Hal lines it on up. Hunter Sleppy sticking right with you for some more post-race action in just a matter of moments. We're going to go through the finishing results. James Scioli will race for a championship. Jake Nichols, Pay and Hal, Connor Horn, Josh Cottle ending up as the top 5. John Hall, Jonathan Evans, Brandon Bowie, Jeremy Miller, and Bailey Turner. That is the top 10 running positions. Continuing on, Patrick Moose, Michael Curham, Frankie Barroso, Justin Anasogak, Hayden Swank, Garrett Grant, Blaze McKinney, Adam Cabot, Seth Knoll back to 19th after hitting the wall, and Bryce Senesac was in 20th. Brett Punkari, Seth Berger, Ben Pierce, Tyler Nichols, Max Service, David Weishart, Reese Schaefer, Tanner Betha, Travis Beckner, and Philip Groner ending up as the top 30. Ed Robertson, Ryan Swan, Lee Norton, and Mason Kane just did not make it to the green flag, was out in 34th. Hunter, final moments of this broadcast. How about it? Championship 4 set.
Man. Looking at the standings, it's crazy because Connor Horn, he did everything right except win. But if Scioli came in second, Connor Horn would have been in the championship 4. He was one spot ahead. Yeah, looking at the points as they are, Connor Horn one spot ahead of Scioli in points by 1 point. So even if Scioli came in second, Horn would have been in, but Scioli back against the wall, had to do what he had to do, and he got it done. So it's 3 solar flare cars against John Hall, that being Nichols, Nolan, Scioli. And looking at Charlotte, just a quick look, Jake Nichols, he's the only one of those championship 4 to win there, not only once, but twice. And the last time he won, it was in the closest photo finish in area history. So that was with Kwame Scott. So maybe we'll see Kwame Scott next week. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to Charlotte. It always puts on a good show. Tonight was awesome. That's pure Auto Club, as pure as it can be. And also, one final note, the winner at every Auto Club race was
way.
It was someone who did not lead the most laps. So
wow.
the driver that's led the most laps has never won at Auto Club, and they still have yet to do that.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, fun race, and race fans, we'll see you in a week time because the championship at Charlotte takes place live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. I'm John Ramos saying so long on this Monday night, and we'll see you all soon